Hey yo, it's True Soul Davis, and you're listening to The Truth Talk Show. Hey yo, Kaye.
You ready, baby?
The Truth Talk Show. Where we listen to music and entertain your ears. The Truth Talk Show. Current events and business, what you need to hear. The Truth Talk Show. When we turn it up and you need to turn down. The Truth Talk Show. If you listen to this, you know what's going down.
Now, you're listening to The Truth Talk Show.
Welcome to The Truth Talk Show. I'm your girl, Kaye TheTruth. In studio today, we have the one and only Mr. K Chill, straight from Atlanta. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure. So you are the man that's making all the noise in the ATL, from what I hear.
Well, I'm making some of the noise.
You making some of the noise with Atlanta Actor Awards, the
Yes,
Education
ma'am.
Awards,
Yes,
Feed the
ma'am.
Nation, Chill Zone Entertainment. Tell us about Chill Zone.
Chill Zone Entertainment came about back in, 2013 when I created the Feed the Hungry USA nonprofit. And, Chill Zone Entertainment is just like an umbrella of different type of avenues for actors, for recording artists, management, booking. I book shows for some of your favorite artists, the Jagged Edge, H-Town, 112, as well as, placement with movie soundtracks and all kind of stuff, getting people on TV shows and in movies. And so working like a casting agent as well.
You're talking about in movies, but you're also an actor.
Yeah, right. I'm an actor myself, and I also get other people in movies. I did that since Stump the Yard. When I got myself on Stump the Yard, and I knew that they needed other people, so I started recruiting people to get in the movie as well. And from that point on, I've been working as a casting agent.
Been doing big things. But also, let's go back a little bit further. But you were also a rapper?
Yes, I was a rapper. I was what they call one of the ATL legends from 1996, and we did, booty shake music like Uncle Luke, 1996 Freaknik. We set it off on the radio, had 2 hit records on the radio. K Chillin' Touches was the name of the group, which you can Google us still to this day to hear some of our music. And we had a long time run with that, and then I did a solo album, which I featured Lazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony on my project. We opened up for Biggie Smalls, tour with TLC, Usher, The Brat, you name it.
Oh, my God. That's what I mean, one of the movers and shakers from the ATL. But also, when you're doing all that, and you kind of touched on something that's near and dear to my heart, Feed the Hungry USA. What made you want to take on that?
Well, what made me take it on is when I first came to Atlanta back in '95, seeing the homeless, out on the street. It was a new shock for me, and I realized then that if I don't do something to succeed, I may be out there just like them. So, of course, having that fear of not wanting to be homeless, I pushed and God, showed favor, and I wasn't, I didn't fall victim to that. So my heart was still there, and I felt like I needed to do something once I was in position. And so, the city wasn't doing what needed to be done, and, so I said, well, why don't I do it? So a homeless guy came by, and he wanted some money, and I had like $1 in my wallet, and I knew then I was on a mission, because it wasn't good enough, and I said, I'm going to use my voice and my celebrity status to raise awareness and make some noise. I'm going to be the voice for the people that can't, speak up for themselves. So that's when I realized using my connections with radio stations and celebrities and all that other stuff will definitely make, I will make some noise for the voices. And I started it. We got love from the biggest radio station here in Atlanta, V103, and so many people came out from the community, and it just took off. 6 years running strong. We've been feeding. We actually slept outside with the homeless. I made history creating the Friday Homeless for a Night Challenge, where we slept outside. We gave clothes, food, we gave jobs, and I actually took 2 homeless guys off the street, and that was a Black Friday. While everybody else is out spending money, we're making a difference and changing people's lives.
Amen to that. And you know what? And you touch on something. I always say that we're all one paycheck away from being homeless. And we do need to do our part to make sure that we can help those who are less fortunate. And also, while we're helping them, we need to make sure that we don't end up that way. Because there's so many Americans who are going without. And then, people around the world. But, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we use ourselves as examples. When we was out there sleeping with them, we actually gave pep talks and rallies and stuff like that, and we let them know that we no different from y'all. Y'all, we are human, and we all are just one paycheck away or one job, being fired from a job away, because, a lot of people out there are just a victim of circumstance, not because they want to be out there, and so many people think, oh, well, they lazy, they on drugs. That ain't the case for a lot of them. We talk to professors. We talk to some of the smartest people you can talk to, just happen to, be down in their luck. And so I educated myself, and that was my challenge. That was the reason for my challenge that night, to challenge people that if you think these homeless people are crazy and on drugs, I challenge you to be out there with them for a night to actually understand and see and hear their story, so you'll know why some of them are out there and understand their story. Because it's easy to ride by and judge and point at them and say, they this. But if you out there and you spend a night with them, you actually get chance to talk to these people, you'll see that your whole perception was wrong. And a lot of people had a rude awakening when they took their challenge and they stayed out there, and they were blown away.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so sad, and we see it all the time. And you know what, when we touch on the homeless, which I can't forget about the people who's just out there to collect a check, because there are some people, I've gave some money to a homeless man, and he took my money and wrapped it around a big wad of other money. But we can't let that stop us from doing what we're supposed to do, because it's really people out there who need help. And like you said, they have been professors, doctors, or whatever you want to say, or if they have family issues and they just couldn't deal, but they're out there.
Oh, yeah, they definitely out there. And it's a lot of schemers and gamers out there. And, we have to just use our discernment, our gift of discernment, to see if we can just, pick out the good from the bad, if we can spot it.
Right. And then even if we are not able to tell, do what you're supposed to do by giving, and don't let that stop you because one person is just out there to take advantage of the giving heart.
If you're not dealing with Kaye, it ain't the truth.
How else you are making history, I say history, by the city of Atlanta, is with your Educator Awards. It's so much goes on in different cities, and those who help, such as yourself, but educate, but don't get awarded, don't get the reward, don't get the respect. So what made you do the Educator Award?
Well, actually, from the success of last year's Atlanta Actors Award, I know a lot of people, and some of those people are teachers, educators. So one day, one educator by the name of Dr. Yolanda Snipes inboxed me, and she said, hey, you have the show for the Actors Awards. That's cool. Congratulations. But what about us educators? And she made me think, and I said, well, you know what? You're right. I said, let me think of, let me brainstorm and let me come up with something. And so I thought of it from that point on. I said, hey, the actors are pretty much just like educators, and why don't I run the show pretty much the same way? And came up with it, and it was an awesome success. V103, the biggest station here, was a recipient as well, because they help the community a lot. And they came out along with the teachers, and it was emotional, heartfelt, and plus we made history. And so, and I actually talked to one teacher that was ready to quit before she was selected to be honored. She was just so tired of the lack of and not getting the recognition that, she know they deserve. She said, you know what, I got to confess, I was ready to get out of the education system until this award show came about. She said, and I truly feel appreciated, and this never happened before. And, and I actually made her my spokesperson for the Educators Awards media tour. So she actually went around to all the radio interviews and everything, and she made the newspaper in DeKalb County, and they really saluted her, and they blew their horns real loud for her, and that was awesome. So life-changing experience.
And you know what? I am a firm believer that teachers have one of the hardest jobs. The way the children of America have changed from when I was younger, some of these kids are out of control. So these teachers deserve more than just a pat on the back. They need to know that everybody knows that they have the hardest job and they deserve that award.
Yes, they do, because a lot of us today wouldn't take that job for what they make, because they feel they don't make enough, and we were damn sure for the stress and the trouble, we'd be like, no, hell no, we need more money. So, and it's just sad that they make less than, some of the other jobs that are really not as relevant or not as important, and so they definitely should be paid more and saluted more.
I totally agree with you. I mean, how can you not pay these educators? Need to be awarded and given more dollars for their work, because they make us. They make the future. They make the United States. We would not be where we are today as far as mathematics, me adding up my money, because I got to count my money, being able to communicate without a teacher, because really a teacher spends more time with you than your parent.
That's right.
I salute you for that.
Yeah, and they wear our kids more than than the parents sometimes, and they just and we rely on them to educate our children, but yet don't care about whether they're compensated fairly or not, and that don't add up.
You are listening to Pure Truth Radio, the truth in entertainment, music, and news, your 24-hour streaming station.
So when you created the Atlanta Actors Award, what was going through your mind? What made you say this needs to be done?
Well, there was one show that I was a part of. It was an award show that it geared towards any and everybody. From hairstylists to singers, actors. To me, it was just more of like a big talent show instead of respecting people's crafts and talents. So the first year I won for producer of the year, and which I'm an artist. I'm not necessarily a producer, but I do produce the music that I've created. I co-produce or produce. And so that was cool, but I was really looking more for the actors because I was on fire, with all the movies and TV shows I was in that year. I was looking more to be recognized for my acting skills or the Rising Star, or I think it was called Rising Star. So the following year, I was nominated for Hottest Actor and Rising Star. So I was just sure I would win one of those. So get to the show, and they don't mention me for nothing. They didn't mention my name at all. And it wasn't so much that they didn't mention me, but there were so many other actors that are in Atlanta that are hot, that are on TV and in major movies like Fast and the Furious that I know of that should have been recognized, and they wasn't even mentioned. So it wasn't even about the disrespect that I felt, but it was like, okay, the people I know working hard should be recognized too. So the one actor that did win, we didn't know nothing about him. We had never heard of him. And I felt like, you know what? This is some bull. This got to change. And I told a group of friends, I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own. I said, I'm going to show them how the Actors Awards, how an award show is supposed to go. And boom, it hit me. And I think I promoted it within like 3 months. And we had a sold-out successful event. And actors like Julian Pertano from the Greenleaf show with Oprah was there. Kevin Savage from BET TV show The Quad. Robin Dyke from Bravo, that show Mother Funders. Like, so many top actors were there just on word of mouth and only social media promotion that I knew if we elevated it for the next year with TV and radio and everything else, it will be just through the roof. A bigger venue, more promotion, and now we got bigger stars. This whole lineup we have this year, we got some of the top actors in Atlanta. And, Hollywood is not recognizing them, so now we are.
That's hot. That's hot. And I commend you for taking a stance on showing somebody how to do it, because I've been to so many award shows myself where it was not about your craft or what you've done. It's about who you know and who's doing the show. So you're doing it the correct way by giving those who the accolades. You're giving those who deserve the accolades the accolades.
Exactly, because that show that I mentioned, it was based on votes. Now, they said that I didn't even place in my votes, and I know, thousands of people came out and voted for me. But you go by what they say, they tell you you didn't even make the run-ins, and you know it's like some BS. So if 1,000 members of your family vote for you, but you're not an actor, so you're going to beat the actor who's really got skills and busting his butt. And so the person who got more family is going to win over the guy who got more talent. And that's just garbage.
Right.
So that whole voting thing, I said that will not be a part of this show. We're going to honor the people that are actually working. If you have bodies of work on your resume, you're being honored for the work that you've done, not for how many votes you can get. Because that's an insult. That is an insult to your craft. Yes. So people, when they hit me up saying, hey, how can I nominate somebody? There's no nominations here. We're only honoring people that we know are working. If you have a resume, if you've been working, if you got work out there, we honoring you. And that's just simple and plain. Simple as that.
So I need you to tell us what dates are your events so we can sure to come out and support.
Oh, definitely. April 15th, that's a Sunday, and it's going to be at Porter Sanford Theater. And red carpet is at 8 p.m. because, believe it or not, last year it was at, the show was at 7. Red carpet started at 6. And I actually ordered the Hollywood searchlight, so people could see it from all over the city, right? So with the daylight saving time, it was too light. It was still like daylight out with, during the red carpet, so I couldn't use the Hollywood searchlight. So I said, okay, for next year, I got to make the time later so that way it's dark enough for the Hollywood searchlight. So that's why the red carpet is starting this year at 8 and the show starts at 9. Because we want to make sure the whole city can see us from the sky.
Now,
that's doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're doing it Hollywood style. So yeah, you will not miss us on April 15th. All you got to do is look in the sky. You're going to see the searchlight.
Like Batman, look for the signal, the bat signal.
That's
the
it.
Kaye TheTruth signal.
That's it. The Actors Award. And the overall, the moral of that story is how Hollywood has been snubbing our actors for years. Denzel, all the people who deserve to be recognized don't get recognized in Hollywood unless they do some foolery to be recognized. Like, for instance, Training Day. He got honored for Training Day and Halle for Monsters Ball. Why should he have to go be a slut just to be honored? You see what I'm saying?
Right, and there's so many great movies that Denzel has done.
And got no recognition. So that's why, this is more than just an Actors Award. This is a movement. This is showing Hollywood that if you're not going to honor our people that deserve to be honored, we're going to do it ourselves. We don't need Hollywood to validate us or tell us that we're great. We can do that ourselves. And we did it.
It's time for the hot seat.
You know what time it is, Mr. K. Chill? It's time for me to put you on the hot seat. So it's nothing bad. We're just going to ask you a couple of questions, which you kind of answered some good stuff already.
Okay.
See, question number 1. If you had 2 things to change in the city of Atlanta, what would it be?
I think it would be the togetherness, the helping each other out, the unity. As far as with the entertainment industry, a lot of people don't want to help the next person win, so to say. So everybody want to try to, either hate or pull somebody back or not show the love that they can show, not show the support they can show. So I would definitely change that. As a matter of fact, this Wednesday, I'm going to support a brother, and I'm going to rally all the people that I can to go support this brother's karaoke night because he does support me. And I think if we start a pattern of showing love to each person we know doing something, I think we can create a trend.
I definitely love that idea, that thought. Question number 2. With you being a former rapper, doing your thing, having hit songs on the radio, in the industry, what do you think about the music of today? And who is the hottest artist of today and who's not?
Oh, wow. You know what? I'm so detached from this new music nowadays because it's, to me, straight up garbage. And this mumble rap, everything rapping about trapping, I do not love it or respect it. Hip-hop is dead in my eyes because there's nothing that I could, look forward to on the radio no more. So I got to go back digging in my old downloads and old CDs just to get the real good music, the real true hip-hop. So I'm so disappointed in this music industry nowadays because, it's the Pied Piper syndrome, or they allowing these dope boy rappers to trash the minds of the youth with the trapping and drugs, and I do more drugs than you, and it's silly. They setting us back 100 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. Another hot seat question for you. I'm disappointed in music too, but I'm also disappointed in our government system. What are your thoughts on the government?
Oh my God! I don't even, where do I start? First, can we get this clown up out of the office? That's my first.
Exactly.
My first thought, and then I'm so disappointed in America, period, for allowing a known criminal, pedophile, racist scum into the office, knowing he done molested and raped several women, but yet you still, basically you saying to the kids in America that you can be scum and a rapist and a molester and trash and still be president of the United States. That sickens my stomach.
I think my stomach is sick too. Matter of fact, I know it is, and I totally agree with your point of view on that. See, that wasn't so hard, was it, Mr. K. Chill?
Oh no, that wasn't so hard, but we'll need a whole nother show touching on this politics, because boy, I got so much stuff to say. We ain't got enough time in the day.
Okay, look, wait. You know what I'm gonna do now? Since you brought it back up, I need you to hit us with 3 more political comments, K Chill style.
Well, political comments. This North Korea thing, for instance, is all some baloney, made up war crap, so they can go take over the central banking system. A lot of people don't know that. Just like a lot of people don't know 9/11 was stage fraud just to go take over the central banking system over in Afghanistan. Like, I can get so deep to where it's hard for people to accept it or believe it, because they don't even use YouTube to go research. All the answers are there. The truth is out there, but people don't want to face it. Like, I'm telling some people, schooling some people, and they're like, no, airplanes really did crash into 9/11. And I'm like, no, they didn't. Have you seen any airplane parts? And they're like, well, I don't think so. And so it's like trying to get them to believe the truth is it's like pulling teeth. People they don't want to believe the truth, and you can't make them believe it because they're so brainwashed by the media, by what the news say, that they feel like, well, that's the truth because it was on the news. And it's sad. It's sad.
I will agree with something that Trump said. There is a lot of fake news, but he only says fake news, when it applies to him, when it's showing the truth about him. But tell live vision, the television will lie to you. You definitely have to do your research.
Oh, yeah, you definitely got to, because it's all scripted, and a lot of people don't know that. News outlets all over the world, they get a daily script on what they want to feed the world. And so, of course, nobody can see the simultaneous newscast of all the different news channels around the world, but they all have the same news story that they spitting out, and they're reading the script. And a lot of people don't even know that, and that's sad.
They don't do their research.
Uh-huh.
So I totally agree. Well, Mr. K. Chill, tell us your 3-month plan outside of the Educators event, the Educators Award, which we know you're going to do again, the Atlanta Actors Award, Feed the Hungry USA is another project of yours. What
right,
else?
But can I touch on that Feed the Hungry thing? Do you know they have outlawed us feeding the homeless? Do you know they're actually writing tickets and taking people to jail trying to feed the homeless? So basically, they just want people to die. They want population control to kick in. And so now we're facing fines in jail trying to be the nonprofit that we've been for the past 6 years. Ain't that crazy?
Well, I know a little bit about that. I haven't heard it on our side in Texas. What they do, we go out and feed the homeless, like give them their toiletries and all that stuff, and they'll come and take it back up. They will take the food, they will take the toiletries from them. And I'm like, wow. But in the back of my mind, you would want somebody to feed you. You would want somebody to clothe you. One day that could be you. So why do that? I mean, I would feel some type of way. I would have to turn my back if on somebody that was feeding the homeless if I was an officer and let them do what they do. You shouldn't do that, because to me that's just like crazy. I'm not going to write you. If I was an officer, I wouldn't write you a ticket. I would take
you can't
that food away. That's somebody's brother. That's somebody's
it's like,
brother.
You have to be heartless to do that, to be in that position. Like here in the winter, they snatch blankets off the homeless, saying it's an ordinance. You can't have blankets on the street. So they laying there freezing. I'm talking about almost 0 below weather. They taking blankets from the homeless. It's bad enough they out there freezing, but then you come taking a blanket. You can't have a heart. Like you can't have no human decency to be able to follow that order from your boss or your superior. Because there's no way I could do it. I would tell them, no, I'm not taking no blanket. Or I'd let them tell me, and I'm not touching nobody's blanket. You got to use your own judgment. If the man freezing, I can't sleep at night knowing I'm going to take this man's blanket.
Me either.
I would just have to quit. I couldn't even be a cop. I would have to quit.
And that goes back to sometimes people just do whatever for their job, but you have to let your standards kick in and be like, enough is enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Kaye Chill, I want you to shout out your social media and tell the people where they can find you.
All right, you can catch me on Facebook at Kelvin K. Chill Harris. That's KELVIN, and on Instagram at KChill ATL, and on Twitter at KChill A&R. That's KChill A. It's the capital letter A, then A&D, and then the letter R. KChill A&R. And,
I want you to show.
I gotta get a website to the Actors Award. It's Atlanta/actors/awards.com, and you can get everything from email and everything else on the Atlanta Actors Award website.
And then what I want you to do, since you're doing things with the educators and the actors, for the educators, name us 3 of your top educators from your previous award show.
Okay, Miss Patrice Sam was the educator who was featured in all of the newspapers and everything, and went on the media tour. And we also have Mr. Tyra Parson, who was a special needs educator, and we also have Miss Dr. Yolanda Snipes. She's actually the reason why the Educators Awards took place, because she inboxed me asking me, could I create something for them? And it was my pleasure to do so, and I'm glad I did. And we made history for Atlanta.
Nice. Who right now do you see as a threat as far as actors? One of the hottest, 3 of the hottest actors in Atlanta.
Well, the hottest actors in Atlanta are on this second annual Actors Award show. Brad James, remember the name because he's almost an image of Shamar Moore, and they look like they could be brothers. Brad James is probably just a little shorter, but he's like the Atlanta version of, he's the South Shamar Moore. This brother is in all kind of movies, all kind of TV shows, Saints and Sinners, you name it. If you turn on something, you're going to see Brad James, and he's honored to be in this award show, as well as Kevin Savage. If you watch BET The Quad, he's in that show, as well as a lot of other projects that he's done and that are coming up, as well as Miss Vivian Collins. She's actually in the new Rosa Parks movie that's coming out on the 11th of this month, and they just did a red carpet premiere with Isaiah Washington and Meta Golding. She plays Rosa Parks. So I missed the premiere, but I heard it was awesome. So please make sure y'all tune in to the Rosa Parks story behind the movement, coming this February 11th to theaters, and make sure we support this film.
That was nice, and I can't wait to see the film.
It's time for the wind down.
But what I want to do is thank you again for stopping by the Truth Talk Show. And I want to leave my people with some pure truthologies by your girl, Kaye TheTruth. Sometimes you have to take a different route to reach your destination. Adapting to the twists and turns is what gives you the strength to push forward and make it to the finish line. Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl. Google me, www.kaythetruth.com. Until next time, and we're out. Thank you, Kaye Chill.
You're welcome. Awesome show.